Hello, welcome. If you want to learn saxophone, especially if you want to learn improvisation, doesn't matter your level. If you have interest in learning improvisation, if you are starting from zero, or even if you already play saxophone in orchestra somewhere, but you want to improve your improvisation skills, that channel has exactly that purpose to give you tips, to give you ways, to give you many advices and support you on that journey. So don't forget already if you are not subscribed, if it's your first time here, don't forget to already subscribe in the channel. Give your like on that video, especially to let me know if you are arriving for the first time or if you are already part of that channel. Let's start here. Why most musicians never truly learn improvisation? That's the topic of the video today. Video lesson, the sittings of the videos are kind of lesson because I'm also teacher. I work in schools as teacher. I'm not just saxophone player, professional saxophone player. I'm also working in a school. So that environment here it's a kind of lesson styles. So, understanding music beyond music, scales, mechanical practice. Sax Creative Improvisation is the name of the method I developed, and I'm sharing here with you some of the techniques inside the method. So, many musicians study for years and still feel lost when improvising. Let me know if it's your case. Let me know in the comments if you you are one of that musician. It's completely normal. Many musicians study for years and feel lost when improvising. Let me know if you are one of one of these saxophone players. What notes should I play is something that most of you think about. Why do scales sound random? Why uh, can't I sound musical? Why does improvisation feels difficult? That's one of the most common questions. Okay, so if you are um, questioning yourself about it, it's completely normal. Just to let you know, I'm here to support you in that way. So now we are going to talk about improvisation. As I told you before, rhythm, especially rhythm. Harmony, I'm going to introduce you on harmony. If you are not familiar with harmony, it's very important for saxophone players. Most people think harmony just for guitar player, keyboard player, piano player, but that's not true. Harmony is music. Okay, in the past, music was called harmony. The art of mixing sounds. The way we mix sound. Why it sounds good? Why it looks at specific styles? How can we create and recreate a specific styles? Okay, it's all about harmony. Musical thinking. We're going to talk about musical thinking, and we have some practical activities here to invite you to reflect on the topics of the lesson. Okay, a different way of thinking about music. Music, just especially if you are learning saxophone, starting your journey, it's probably you are reading songs, some arpeggios. Okay, but don't forget, music is beyond exercise. The exercise must be connected with the real musical situation. Okay, never forget it. Live performance, listening, it's very important. We develop music skills by listening, interaction with other musicians, interaction with even backing track with some set list already, something already recorded. Okay, experimentation, formal and informal learning. So you can learn here. I'm sharing with you some of formal concepts, but also many concepts that was developed because of the modern music. Most of the techniques you learn, people from 18th century, 17th century was also practicing. But remember, today we have Spotify, we have a different format of music. In the music industry, we have pop music, so we have another way, you know, another way to compose, to write songs, to consume songs. It's everything changing fast. So we have different also approach, different exercises, different goals, especially improvisations. Improvisation today is more important than ever, especially if you are a saxophone player. Before we continue, if you enjoy this kind of content, practical musical concepts, improvisation ideas, rhythm and harmony, creative development. Don't forget to like the video again and subscribe the channel because I'm always here sharing contents to help support you start improvising. Doesn't matter your level, and it's a pleasure to stay with you. Don't forget, subscribe, leave your like, and let's engage here. So the main problem, traditional learning can sometimes create mechanical playing, fear of mistake, dependence on pattern, confusion about harmony, too much information without context. Hundreds and hundreds ago, musicians, Western musicians, were prepared to play in orchestra, was not necessarily understanding how music works, how we think about music to create music. The songwriters were a different class, a different class of musician. Today, with popular music, with education, today education is accessible. You can learn, okay? It's changed a lot, Now in the 21st century, we can access it. And as I told you before, the way we consume music today is very different. And the way you have to work as a musician, even if you want to practice by hobby, if you like saxophone, it's very different. It's very different. So you can be creative. You can practice your drills and being creative. Not necessarily play everything on music sheet. Okay, so music sheet, it's a nice tool to understand better visually everything, but it's not everything you need to be creative and play saxophone. Okay, the scale trap myth. A lot of people think about scale. People are playing scale up and down, maybe playing long notes, each note of the scale, long notes, but don't know what means scale. The purpose of scales, it's one trap, okay? Scale are important, but musical phrasing, rhythm, and interaction matter, okay? Scale, it's just a selection of notes that you can use in a specific song. That selection of notes that bring a specific characteristic, acoustic characteristic. Scales bring emotion characteristics. We have a group of major scales, group of minor scales, a lot of major scales, a lot of minor scales. Each scale with different characters. So that's it. It's a tool to write some songs, and some styles use more one specific scale than others. That's because, for example, blues sounds like blues because we have a specific scale for blues. Pop songs, some, for example, rock, happy songs. Some maybe it's happy because it uses a specific scale. Maybe you never thought about it, but scale, that's it. But the most important is the phrasing, the way we develop the phrasings, the rhythm. Is something that we are going to explore on that video. Music as language, improvisation works like communication. Vocabulary, think about vocabulary, notes, okay? Vocabulary, notes. Grammar, harmony. When we understand the harmony, we are not going deep here on that video, but it's a topic for another video for sure. But harmony, for example, progression of notes. We have scale. Usually we have 7 notes of scale, but we can't use all the notes. We have specific moments that we can use maybe 3 or 4 notes of that scale, because of that exists chord progression. One chord means you can play in a bar specific notes, and then we have another chord in the other bar that you can play another group of notes, and then another bar you can play another group of notes. Okay? And conversation improvisation. If you are confident, if you're already practicing drills inside these concepts, if you have knowledge about it, if you have awareness of these concepts, you can get confidence and practicing improvisation, your conversation, your own touch, your signature. And you can, since the beginning, explore it. Uh, how musical fluency develops? By listening. We have to develop listening, understanding the rhythm, understand the beats is something that we learn, okay? Anyone uh, grow up naturally understanding the rhythm is something that we have to develop, we have to recognize, okay? It's an extra human activity. Okay, for example, the birds, someone need to teach the birds how to fly. No, because it's natural. The birds will learn how to fly naturally. For human being, we don't have that skill to, that inclination to learn to recognize music pattern naturally. Despite music being something human, it's something that we have to learn. Someone have to teach us. So recognize the pattern is something that you have to exercise completely normal, okay? So we have to develop your skills through listening to recognize rhythm pattern, harmonic pattern, phrase pattern, and then repetition is very important to develop your muscle memory, practicing the drills. So one day you can not get in confidence playing on saxophone, develop your embouchure, but also you can play it automatically, like walking. You don't have to think about your legs, one leg after other, one leg after other. You don't have to think it today. It's kind of automatic movement. At some point in music, because of the repetition, you can do it also, okay? And then interaction, if you are playing a lot with another musician, jam session, backing tracks, you can develop your fluency. Pattern recognition, everything about pattern recognition. Maybe if you want to specialize in one specific styles, you have to understand all the pattern of that specific style, and you can become specialist and you can jam all the songs of that style. So that's it, and a practical application to develop your musical fluency instead of just practicing drill. So let's practice rhythm here, the practical activities. The simple idea with strong rhythm can a simple idea with strong rhythm can sound musical and expressive, even with one note, okay? Complex note without rhythm often sound mechanical. So it's a way, if you want to develop improvisation and you are learning starting from zero, if you already play saxophone, we can practice. You can have fun playing just one note. Improvise with one note, focus on rhythm, silence, articulation, and dynamics. Dynamics, what means it? Rhythm is the consistency of the way you interact with the beats. You have to understand the beats. For example, if it's quaternary, you have to understand the beats, the regularity of the beats. Okay? Silence, the pause, the space between one note and another. Articulation, more about tone, the way we da 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 da, everything connected. And dynamics. Dynamics is more about it is low, about the volume of the song. So let's practice here using just C major chord. I'm going to use just one chord as an example and explore different rhythm playing just the note C on tenor saxophone. Then play here just as an example. We can explore different rhythm just playing one note. Let's check here. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It's a kind of improvisation. For sure, we are not using a lot of notes. We are not exploring complex harmonic chord progression, but it's a way for you to start creating something. Once you understand the beats, we can practice the symmetry of the phrase. Can you see? Da 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 da, ba da 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 da, ba 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 da 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 da, ba da 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 da. You know, like call and answer, but exploring symmetry. Okay, that's a nice idea to start understanding about rhythm and also being creative. What made it musical? Timing, groove, phrasing, repetition, dynamics. So it's mean musical because if you are ignoring the beats, if you are playing completely free, you know, it will not sound musical because also music is when we are playing something constantly. And most of the time we are following some pattern, some it means musical theory. Is when we are following some specific pattern that were created, were absorbed culturally. Okay, so it means music. So you can play something that you already know that has some results. It means technique. Okay, so explore symmetry, understand the beats, you can already create something interesting, even simple. Okay, now let's play only three notes. We already know about the rhythm, the concept of rhythm, understand it. Okay, so now let's add more notes. It's still just one chord of C. Chord of C we can play C, we can play E, and we can play G. Notes of the chord without chord progression, just one chord, and let's explore it. Okay, so instead of using just one note, let's use three notes as you prefer, exploring the same thing previously, symmetry, understanding the beat, you know, silence, articulation. Let's explore it, but now using three notes: C, E, and G. Let's go. Same backtrack. Okay, always exploring symmetry. I can do it because I improvise for many years. But if you are starting for now, maybe you can feel blocked. But try, okay? Understand that just this process. First step, understand the rhythm, play on time, recognize the beats, you know, and then you can go to that step. Just using one chord. If you are playing chord of C, but for example, you have to transpose. If you are playing C chord for guitar, maybe you have to play another notes for tenor on your tenor saxophone or alto saxophone. But that topic is not about transposition. I'm just giving you some advices to start improvising and show you the first step. Everyone can follow. Doesn't matter your level. Okay. So limitation can help develop clarity and creativity. You don't have to already explore uh, complex chord progression. You know, you don't have to start improvising a whole music, but you can start simple and explore your creativity in a limited context. Okay, so common fears: I started too late, improvisation is too advanced, I don't have natural talent, I need to master everything first. If you think if you think same, it's completely normal. You know, inside the program where I teach saxophone through improvisation, most of the students decided to learn saxophone with the same feeling, the same thoughts, but now they are all improvising. You know, they're all improvising. So just be consistent. It's not about talent, it's about technique. And I'm share here with you these techniques. Okay, music. Just remember, it's not random. It's not something that we do 100% by feeling. It's technique. We have to understand the pattern. We have to develop skills, be consistent, be patient. It's not something that we have to learn all overnight, So why this matter? Understand the pattern helps develop confidence, listening, creativity, improvisation, music, awareness. The most you go deep, most you can listen. Okay, most you can listen. Maybe you are listening some song that you love, but you never understood what's happening harmonically, rhythmically. That's completely normal. That's completely normal. But if you are learning, taking serious, you are in the way. And the way of the improvisation is be able to understand the techniques that people use behind all the songs, all the musical styles. Because of that, looks that saxophone players with huge improvisation skills, think that's kind of magic talent, but no, it's a lot of time spent learning, practicing. That's the way, okay? That's the way everybody must follow to be able to improvise in all the style. If you want to be professional or not, okay? That's the way. The real goal, not memorizing endless information. You don't have to memorize now, okay? But just be able to communicate musically, express yourself, being creative, get freedom. So you can start small in a small context and then expanding, understanding more about the chords, more about chord progression, have more tools. But mainly everything I'm explaining here on that video is everything you need to go ahead. So I'm opening a window for you and I hope it's supporting you a lot. Let me know if this information here is new for you or you already know but you are learning something new. It's very important for me to know about what's here. I have a gift for you. You can download it, ebook for free. This is still available for free. Okay, you can scan the QR code. I wrote a book from the Amazon to the world about the methodology I'm sharing with you. So you can download it for free. Scan here the QR code. Okay, it's a very interesting. Everyone can access it. So you can read the information on your own piece and learn about the process of the creation of that method that's supporting people around the world, people of different ages, different backgrounds. So you can download for free. It's a gift for you. And you can just chill, read about it, that's it. Let's see what we have to do now. That's it. That was one video more on the channel. I'm always here sharing tips with you, sharing contents of the methodology I developed for years, about a decade, developed it formally and with a lot of my own experience. I wouldn't say informal, but with my experience with over 20 years playing around the world, playing different styles as songwriter, as performer, improviser, So it's a pleasure to share with you that methodology. Improvisation from the beginning. So I noticed that most of people don't want to go ahead with the saxophone because of the drills of the most of the traditional schools will invite you to practice drills, practice centuries and centuries ago. So I invite people since the beginning to improvise, to be creative, to enjoy the process. We explore a lot of rhythm, practical harmony, ear development. So it's everybody inside the course learning a lot about improvisation and creativity. So I'm sharing with you part of that method. Okay, don't forget to show your support. Just give your like and comment below some question you may have. It will be a pleasure to answer you. Okay, that's it. It was a pleasure to stay with you. Don't forget to download the ebook. See you in the next video. Cheers, bye bye, see you soon.